Hello everybody, it is me, Ryan the Gaming Lawyer. I am doing it a little impromptu recording during the day, so you're probably going to hear my bird. But last night, hi bird, she hears me talking. I'm not talking to you, but by all means, go right ahead. I streamed Kerbal Space Program last night, and I had a set of objectives that I wanted to attain. I did not get any of them, and I think I have perhaps, I don't know if I've made this conclusion, definitively, but I think I've come to the conclusion that me streaming Kerbal Space Program just does not work terribly well. Mostly because I have a hard time focusing on precision maneuver, calculation, and execution while I'm attempting to talk to a chat. And I've been having a lot of issues with getting some basic, just executing basic maneuvers that I don't think I should be having trouble with. But essentially, I had a list of things that I wanted to do during the stream, and I'm thinking I might just do those now and record them, where I'm not also trying to keep up with a lot of people talking to me, which is fine. Certain games that works fine with, but I feel like for some reason, Kerbal Space Program, if I want to actually get anything done in the game and not be constantly frustrating myself by missing details that make my missions fail and I have to start over and so forth. Okay. Maybe we just have to record it. So what I wanted to do is I created this rocket thingamabobber. I have 3 rescues to make. I've got a person, James Shipwreck, rescue here around Kerbin. I have Brooke to rescue around the moon, from the orbit of the moon. And there's another person around Minmus that is not showing up at the moment, but I assure you they are there in Minmus, and they need to be rescued. So I had planned this ship to rescue this person, then shoot out to Minmus, because it's at a weird orbital incline. So the next stop would be Minmus, and then shoot back to the moon, rescue that person. And the reason also I wanted to save the moon till last is so I could get an idea of where my fuel is at the end of that whole process, because I do also have a task to collect science from the surface of the moon. Just generic, any type of experiment on anywhere on the surface. And so I don't want to do that first in case, because the rescues are my top priority. Basically, I'm just on a money-making mission at this point. But let me see. It looks like I've already got, from my stream last night, I already have a maneuver plan, so that's good. I've forgotten that I had done that. I literally streamed this game for 3.5 hours last night, and the whole thing was taking off and trying to get to meet up a rendezvous with this person in orbit. I did it over and over and over and over, and I think there's a possibility that this ship that I'm piloting now is still, there's something just not right about it in terms of its stability, which means I may have to at some point go back into vehicle assembly. And at this point I can't revert. So if I want to stick with it if I can, but I was having real problems with it staying pointed. When I would be trying to thrust, it'd be trying to like veer, which I don't know why. I don't see anything on here at this point that is asymmetrical. So I'm not sure what was causing that. The only things that are asymmetrical are very, very small. Like I've got an antenna up here. It's a bigger antenna, but it's only on one side. And that is the only thing I can think of offhand that could be throwing off like my center of gravity at all, which can cause your course to be a little bit sporadic. So let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and try to execute this burn. I do have a mod installed called Kerbal Alarm Clock. I have a bunch of mods. I should put those in the description. I keep forgetting to do that during my streams. I want to stream this twice now. So let's add a new alarm, and I like playing the alarm sound. That's good too. So it'll go off 1 minute before I need to execute the maneuver, and let me see. I think it's not going to be a very long maneuver, but for some reason, probably because I haven't fired thrusters yet since I reloaded, this little calculator thing doesn't know how long the burn's going to be, but it's not going to be a very big burn. It's a relatively minor adjustment just to bring our orbit that we'll do here to bring our orbit down to meet that of our friend James here. So we add that alarm, and that alarm will automatically take us out of warp 1 minute before we hit the maneuver node, so I can just warp without worrying about the timing on that, and that'll take us out of warp well within, let's see, there we go. Do I have sound turned off in this? I had a weird stream last night. All right, here we go. Game sound was turned off. I had a weird stream last night, so my settings, I had to, I think I switched games in the middle of my stream, so while I did that, I must have turned off the game sounds while I was doing non-game stuff. All right, burn is in. Here, we're gonna close the gap here a little bit. One more quick warp. And I think I'm gonna do the burn in this view so I can verify what's going on. Out here. And when we hit about the 10-second mark, I'm gonna start a low burn. I'm not gonna go full blast because things might happen too quickly. That's about right. Let me get rid of that maneuver node so it's easier for me to see what in fact I've done here. There's a 1 kilometer separation. Let me see. Can't remember which one of these I am. Target position. Oh, hello. Okay. Intersect 1. Looks like, do I need to go, did I overshoot it? I can still make little fine adjustments here. I might need to just, well, let me hit this so I can see how it changes. That locks it in so it doesn't disappear when I stop pointing at it. We're at 1 kilometer, I want that to be less, so let's, okay, less is, that's working. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, I think 3 is as good as we're gonna get. So, 0.3 kilometers, that's 300 meters. That should be pretty reasonable. And I'm gonna warp to here. And now we can just kind of look around and enjoy the view a little bit. Excuse me. And we should start to be getting pretty close to our objective. Let's actually... gonna point at him. We got a little bit of time. See if we can actually see him. He's pointing right at him over here. Guess we're not quite close enough yet, but he should be right over here somewhere. Crap, it's more. I just woke up and had my morning coffee, so I'm a little like throat froggy, cleary going on right now. I normally don't do any channel stuff during the day, especially because of my bird, and also because like work stuff and whatever, but schedule's a little flexible this week. Wife's out of town this week, so, and I can normally do channel stuff, but I usually monitor like when I do channel stuff because I don't want to end up working my real job when it's time that we should have to spend together. But when she's not here, I can do my personal like game stuff whenever and still work, you know, hours I normally wouldn't. So that's why when it hit me to do this, okay, I wanted to do it. So we're going to, man, I need to hit those boosters. I was not paying close attention. We need to make our relative speed come to basically 0 if we can. So that's my speed relative to the target. And we actually overshot the target at this point. Slightly, but I still can't see him. But I know he's right out there. say how he's 680 or 668 things. So we're just gonna point at him, and I'm going to go a few meters a second. Go 5 meters per second. And then get into position to face where we need to face in order to slow down our relative speeds once I get closer to him. We can see the distance is closing at the moment. It's closing a little slow. I can probably stand to warp this a little bit. Because of the curvature of the... Oh, stop. Okay. We want to slow down a relative. We're starting to drift apart again. So it's sort of a not super precise because you're meeting somebody at a at an angle because the orbit is circular. It's not a straight line. So whenever you point straight at something and go towards it, you're gonna end up not actually going straight towards you. You're sort of gonna curve towards it. So just a matter of hitting a few. For me, there's probably, if I was super good at physics, there's probably a way I could figure out how to get up to 3 there. And hit to retrograde so we can stop. There he is. Alright, this might be, when we get close enough, we'll come to a complete stop. And then, let me turn on lights on here. So you can see, we're gonna send this guy into this door right here. 9:37. This actually might be close enough. Once he gets right to sort of the midline there, it starts slowing us down. And here, let's I want to go like this, get my orientation the way I like it. And we're just gonna, you know what, I think we're close enough. Let's get pointed up in this direction. I think we can just get him out of his pod and EVA him over. We should be close enough to do that without it being like a major catastrophe. So let's face the door towards him. We're trying to get him into this little door. This is normally what would be like the cargo pod for someone doing a moon, like a lunar landing, but we just added on here to fit an extra person in there. Can we get this person out of here? Can he even walk out of here? Crew hatch. EVA. There we go. Okay, let's, crap. Slow it down. Okay. It's kind of clumsy controls, especially when you're not super practiced at it, like I'm not. And I'm making myself go further away. Bravo. Well done, G-Law. Alright, now we are going in the right direction. And slow and steady wins the race on little fine maneuvers like this. Sort of like abrupt and sporadic strong bursts of thrust can end up spinning poor little Kerbal's way out, like so far away. I don't know. I'm not good at correcting big mistakes. We'll just put it like that. Alright, we seem to be going more or less directly towards where we need to be going. I'm just gonna let him drift closer. And he might even go right where we need him to go without any more adjustments. Nope, he's gonna need a little bit of adjustment. I'm gonna have him grab on here. And board. Alright, rescue number 1. This is what I couldn't do in 3 hours of streaming last night. Achieving the first rescue. So let's get our targeting, our thing back into orbit. We are now going to rendezvous with Minmus.